to move into the ICSA award ceremony. Every year, for those of you who have been with us multiple years, you know that we do awards every year. For newcomers, we give awards every year. For people who have been working in the field, it doesn't have to be someone who's been working in the field a long time. It can be, any field of work. But if we notice that there's someone in our network who's really making an impact, we try to honor that, and we try to do that, of course, for the person's benefit, to thank them and to make them feel efficacious, but also so that the field and the network can recognize their work and know what's going on. So before we get into the ICSA awards, the awards that ICSA gives to people, I want to invite Mike Kropveld up here because historically what we've always done is also given a platform for the awards that Info-Secte gives to people annually. They're the Dianne Casoni Awards, and I'll let Mike explain to you what those awards are and award those to his recipients who are not here because we're not live streaming the awards. But we have statements from all of our recipients. So, Mike, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. The Dianne Casoni International Award. Hi, I'm Mike Kropveld, founder and executive director of Info-Secte, and I'm here to present the Dianne Casoni International Awards. Before doing so, I would like to tell you a little about the person for whom this award is named and about the award itself. Dianne Casoni was an important collaborator of Info-Secte for more than 25 years and served on its board of directors for over a decade. She was a prominent researcher in the field of religion and cultic phenomena. She examined various aspects of commitment and participation within groups characterized by high levels of control. She also explored the relationships between leaders and followers, as well as the links between group ideologies and organizational structures. Throughout her career, she worked closely with individuals who lived in such groups in order to better understand their experiences. In addition, Dianne conducted research on terrorism and more broadly on radicalization. An experienced psychologist and psychoanalyst, she taught for more than 20 years at the School of Criminology at the Université de Montréal. Dianne was also one of the founders of what is now ICSA's International Journal of Coercion, Abuse, and Manipulation. To honor Dianne's memory and recognize her significant contributions to research, Info-Secte established the Dianne Casoni International Award in 2020 with the support of her donors. We are also grateful to the International Cultic Studies Association for graciously allowing us to present these awards at its annual conference. There are two award categories: the Scientific Award, which recognizes outstanding scholarly research in the public education, or what we call the Popular Award, which recognizes excellence in making information about cultic phenomena accessible to the general public. Each award includes a commemorative plaque and a check for $500.
Bonjour, nous sommes les filles de Dianne Casoni. C'est avec un grand plaisir que nous présentons le Prix Dianne Casoni pour le volet Vulgarisation à Myra Shuster pour la qualité exceptionnelle et la pertinence de son livre intitulé Lost Promises, Revisiting the Circumstances of My Sister's Death in a Religious Cult, et pour sa contribution à une meilleure compréhension des phénomènes sectaires. Félicitations!
I am very honored to receive the Dianne Casoni Award. Thank you. Thank you too to Mike Kropveld and Info-Secte for creating the award. Back in the pre-internet days when my old story took place, Mike and what was then the Cult Information Center were pivotal in providing my family information. When my sister Sharon was 21, she left Montreal for San Francisco's Creative Community Project. I couldn't wait to finish high school so that I could join her. I arrived after a 3.5-day bus ride and found she was already deeply entrenched in Mooney doctrine. She and I were very close. We were mind reader close. So my deep trust in her, it didn't take long for me to be fully indoctrinated as well. We were imbued with our parents' leftist ideals, and we came to believe that we had found a way to work towards creating a better world. I wanted to stay on. but I had made a solemn promise to my parents to return home to start college. I returned home a couple of weeks later. I was only 17, so the Moonies couldn't do more than urge me to stay, and I promised them I'd return to the commune as soon as I could. My parents were shocked to see my state when I arrived, and they arranged for me to be deprogrammed. As I slowly emerged from the brainwashing I had undergone, I decided that I would help with the deprogramming of Sharon, which we planned for her anticipated visit to Montreal a few weeks later. She never made it. She was killed just weeks before that she was expected to visit. Joan Didion once wrote that life changes in the instant. This phrase so captures my experience of losing my sister to the Moonies in a sudden and untimely death. People talk about finding closure. I think the notion of closure is oversimplified, but the process of writing this book helped. For decades, my parents had assumed that answers to the circumstances of my sister's death were not to be had. My mother was plagued by her intuition that Sharon was trying to leave the Moonies at the time she was killed. She confessed this to me in hushed tones. As I gained experience as a lawyer, I came to understand that even old legal records in cold cases could be made available via Freedom of Information requests. I dug up all our old letters and journal entries, and I submitted a Freedom of Information request. I also returned to the site of the Creative Community Project in San Francisco. I hope that the emotional, legal, and travel journey I describe in my book can help or inspire others who are processing their past in a religious cult or looking at it under a present lens, as well as those who are coming to terms with the sudden and tragic loss of a loved one. Sharon once wrote the following inscription to me on a photo: "To my wonderful sister, I will never really leave you forever." This proved to be true. She's still with me and always will be. I never fully recovered from losing her, but writing this book helped. Thank you again.
Hi, we are the daughters of Dianne Casoni, and we are pleased to present the Dianne Casoni Award for the scientific category to Adam Lyons for the outstanding quality and relevance of his article entitled "The Assassination of Abe Shinzō and Japan's New Cold War, Yamagami and the Second Generation Problem," and for its current contribution to better understanding of the cultic phenomenon.
Congratulations!
Hello, I'm Adam Lyons, and I am the recipient of this year's Dianne Casoni Award. Thank you very much to the committee for recognizing my article about the assassination of Abe Shinzō and the social construction of the second generation problem in Japanese religions. This work deals with the societal response to the assassination of former Prime Minister Abe Shinzō in 2022. He was assassinated by Yamagami Tetsuya, whose mother was a member of the Unification Church or Family Federation. And Yamagami, in his manifesto, declares that he wanted to avenge himself against both the Unification Church or Family Federation and mainstream Japanese society. He presents himself in the manifesto as a person doubly alienated, both from his mother's religion and from mainstream society. So in the article, I went through Yamagami's manifesto, the societal response to the Abe assassination, and lots of Nisei grievance narratives that have begun attracting popular attention in the wake of the Abe assassination. I found that one of the core claims in a lot of Nisei narratives is actually the core claim of Yamagami's manifesto, which is that there are people who feel doubly alienated, both from a marginal religion in which their parents participate, typically a kind of high demand group, and from society, mainstream society. So they're struggling to find their place. Broadly, my hope is that this research will contribute to the development of more serious historical and sociological studies of the children of controversial or marginal sectarian groups as a category, similar to the convert or the apostate. And that's work that I am continuing with from this point forward. Once again, thank you very much. I'm very pleased. Goodbye.